Hello, Taurus, and welcome to your June 2026 general reading. This reading will resonate for all Taurus, Sun, Moon, and Rising signs. Make sure you do watch all three for the big picture. So we're going to touch on some key aspects that are occurring in the month of June and pull some messages for you to see what's activating and what you need to be aware of. And of course, bring some blessings to you here as well. The first part of the month, the first 2 weeks of the month, especially the first few days, we are still feeling the effects of the full moon in Sagittarius that we had on the 31st of May, which is, of course, a blue moon as well as a full moon. So this does bring a little bit of magic, maybe a little bit of luck, expansion, and growth, but it's encouraging you to leave something at the door, to check your baggage, if you will. Sagittarian is the sign of the traveler, adventures and fun and expansion, growth. And we can't find freedom, which is also Sagittarian energy, without while we're carrying a lot of things that are holding us back or holding us down. And so this can be a really good time to really examine, right, what we need to let go of, right? It's, really wanting us to have fun, expand our horizons, and find freedom. Okay, Saggy energy is also big picture energy. So for the first couple of weeks of the month, until we get to the new moon in Gemini on the 14th, okay, this can be a really good time to do clearing rituals, to wrap up loose ends, to get some closure if you need some closure, while we get ready for a big new beginning. Because that new moon in Gemini is ruled by Mercury, but we also have Uranus in Gemini, and this is the first full moon that we have with that Uranus and Gemini energy. And this can be a vision. This can be where we really look at the big picture. We look at our ideas, and we see, where do I want to grow? Uranus is the great awakener. We can awaken to new beginnings, awaken to new possibilities, awaken to new visions, awaken to a new connection with spirit as well. But Uranus wants to set you free. All right. So you've got two big elements that are trying to bring you freedom. Okay. So pay attention. On the 9th of June, we've got what some people would say the luckiest day of the year. We've got Venus and Jupiter in a conjunction in Cancer at 25 degrees. So this can be really harmonious for love, luck, harmony. This aspect can help bring us everything we need to feel fulfilled without having to struggle as much. So you could get like a break somewhere there, a lucky break maybe. Enjoy the beauty and people and treat yourself well. Venus and Jupiter are planets that bring us blessings. Okay. And so they're bringing us something good. All right. Might be something small. It may be something big. It may be something that we don't realize that we had our lucky break until after it happens, and we kind of settle down when we're like, oh yeah, I was in the right place at the right time that day. Right. So that can be what that brings in. But June 12th is a day to really be aware of. We've got Uranus, again, our planet of sudden shocks and changes and surprises, awakenings, planet of freedom. Okay, can shake things up just a little bit. It is in a square with the North Node in Pisces and also the South Node in Virgo. So we could really be awakening to a new way of life, a new way of doing things, especially how our day-to-day affects our spirit. Okay. Summer solstice on the 21st. And we've got Mercury retrograde plus a full moon in Cancer on the 29th. Okay. So if you need to do any work, anything, do it in the first half of the month. And then the second half of the month, kind of try and be a little bit in the flow. Let's see what we've got. And we've got action here for you. So this is your root chakra that is activating for you here. Okay, movement, perseverance, discipline, and motivation. Okay, what is lighting you up? Where do you need to take some action to make your goals and dreams come true? What are you trying to create? Okay, your planetary ruler Venus, right, is really helping you out, especially on the 9th. And Venus is entering the sign of Leo on the 13th. Okay, so this can be really great for you to tap into some fiery energy to get things going. All right, but when we've got your root chakra here, this can really be where, you know, you may need to kind of write some things down, and you may need to kind of, I don't know how you say it, get off your butt. Okay, take some action, take some initiative here. You do have Mars in your sign, and Mars isn't comfortable in your sign, but it can help to motivate you and can help you tap into your passions, help you get going and persevere a little bit, right? But you might need a little bit of structure there. So write some things down, put down a game plan. You don't need to know every step of what you're doing along the way. But at least get things started and then kind of go with the flow, roll with the punches, right? Sometimes taking the first step on something is the hardest thing. Okay. And there's that action. This can also be an action packed month for you. So make sure that you are finding your grounding. Okay. For you, especially connect with nature in some way. Do some gardening, go for a walk in the forest. You can, obviously use crystals if you don't have the nature, close by. But you can also bring the outside inside. You can bring in some house plants and things like that as well. Can really help you just to feel connected with Mother Earth. Okay, so yeah, so action-packed month for you guys. Let's see what our next message, Taurus energy. There you go. You've got your own card. You are coming out there and cultivate. All right. What are you trying to grow? What are you trying to cultivate? This can be a time of harvest for you guys, okay? Especially with Venus on the move and Venus bringing you some blessings, okay? But this can also be the time of growth for you as well, okay? When we cultivate something, it has the connotation that we are growing, okay? And, if you're a farmer in the field, all right, what do? You till your soil, you prepare your soil, you fertilize your soil, you plant the seeds, right? And then you pull up weeds along the way, you water your crops, right? Until they grow to a point where you can harvest them, right? You are the sign of the bull, right? Well, the bull also needs time and attention to grow into this big, strong animal, right? So you've got to feed it, you've got to nurture it, you've got to make sure it has all the nutrients that it needs, right? And, then of course it becomes very strong and very powerful. So if we stick to that analogy, right, for some of you, your patience is paying off this month and it is time to reap what you've sown. It's going to be wonderful. Others of you, patience is required, but we need a little bit of action in order to get this cultivation kind of energy going for you. All right. But this can be a wonderful time to really focus on your goals, your dreams, and to plant those seeds, right? Always plant those seeds, okay? And then nurture your goals and your dreams in whatever way that you need to. So let's get some more cards. Your overall energy, we've got the 10 of Wands. Okay, so for some of you, this can really be the energy where something is coming to an end and you just might need to gather your strength, okay, and do that last push to the finish line, okay? Something has been, uh, it's been long, okay? It's been a long, drawn out energy. This could actually be the after effect, of course, of Uranus out of your sign, right? It takes some time for things to kind of die down. And you're like, I am so glad this cycle is over. Pass that torch to Gemini, right? Because something has been a long journey and Uranus was in your sign for 7 years. Okay, so now is like gradually you're starting to feel the pressure valve has been released. So the 10 of Wands here wrap something up, right? Wrap something up, find closure. Interestingly enough, because the 10 of Wands can be about stress and burdens, responsibilities, all these things, but it's a reminder that we need to let something go because something is causing us all that stress and anxiety, making us feel that we're carrying the weight of the world on our shoulders. All the responsibility falls on you. And, with this 10 of Wands, you're actually really being encouraged to look at your life and saying, what am I taking responsibility for that isn't mine? Do you not need to start saying no every once in a while? Do you say yes to everything? Right? Sometimes our ambition can be a little bit bigger than our energy. So sometimes we need to divide to conquer, right? We need to kind of scale something back a little bit and have smaller wins along our journey rather than feeling the weight of a big commitment or a big responsibility or a big goal and dream. It's good to have the vision, the long-term vision and the big goals, but we can feel like this, right? We can feel tired and drained, like everything is a slog, like I'm so far away from things, right? I've got all of this stuff to do. And sometimes the best thing that we can do is cut it into pieces, right? And that way we have more small wins, we have smaller goals, more attainable goals, and it doesn't feel as burdensome, right? We can still have that vision, right? But bring it into reality a little bit, okay? And believe me, it can be like, okay, yeah, I can do this. It can change this energy, like this is too much for me, into an energy of this is attainable, right? And we just do one thing at a time, one goal at a time, all those micro goals, right? They can give you that really positive energy boost. But the 10 of Wands, you are at the end of a challenging cycle. There's prepare for a new one to begin. And I do feel, especially for you, I do feel that the first couple of weeks of June are probably going to be the most important for you. And so that you can prepare for some sort of new beginning, new cycle, some new fresh energy for you. Nine of Pentacles. Your Nine of Pentacles is your message from Spirit. Take care of yourself, nurture your goals and dreams, but celebrate your successes. The Nine of Pentacles is an energy of I made it, I did it. Everything that I've done to this point is bringing me to where I am now. And, I need to celebrate my wins because that Nine of Pentacles is a card of abundance. It's one of prosperity, but it's also one of taming your anxieties, taming your fears, accomplishing something, and then we celebrate. We treat ourselves to something good. And the Nine of Pentacles especially is an element of luxury and is one where we are encouraged to um, buy ourselves that thing that we want, treat ourselves to dinner, take a day off work if you can, go connect with nature and just be at peace. Whatever it is that gives you that element, that feeling of I'm treating myself well. And your planetary ruler wants you to do that as well. And June 9th, and we've got the Nine of Pentacles. Beautiful, right? So I do feel that June 9th is probably going to, because it is your Venus is your ruler, and coupled up with Jupiter, it's like, okay, let's see what good vibes that we can bring our Taurus people on this day. All right. So you could have something that really does show you how successful you've been, but it can also just be that I need to live in gratitude for a day. I need to show myself how much I love myself today. And no matter how big, no matter how small, it doesn't have to cost any money. It can be free. Okay. But it is that time. This can also be spirit saying that this can be a time of harvest for you and something is coming to fruition for you. You're about to have some success, which is great, right? Again, right back to that cultivate energy, right? Where some of you are just planting seeds, you're just getting started. but others of you, it's time to cultivate your crops. It's time to reap your rewards. Your prosperity message, we've got the Five of Cups. Okay. Now, the Five of Cups, so there can be some obstacles and challenges with your money, your prosperity. Okay. But the Five of Cups is about your emotions, your feelings, also your fun and joy. Okay. Fives are obstacles and challenges, but also exciting opportunities for change. So the Five of Cups is that reminder, right? That we've got five cups. Okay. Three, they're tipped over on their side. We're not going to recover them. Okay. But there's still two right there. So sometimes number one, we got to process our feelings, process our emotions. There could potentially be a loss or some disappointment. Okay. However, it can also just be where something has to go for something to grow. Right. And, it's like, sometimes we need to re-envision our dream. Sometimes we need to re-engage. Sometimes we have things going on around us that are like, oh man, am I next? So Five of Cups, like your job, right? Maybe there's some rearrangements going on in your company. You might be looking for a better job, right? But we've got to, process our feelings, let something go. And that Two of Cups, right standing. And Two of Cups is about partnerships and the perfect partnerships in balance and harmony, in conjoined together in a really positive way. So you could have some changes going on that may, where you may have a loss of some kind, but there's still something either new there or a chance to recover. Sometimes that Five of Cups, we need to take a step back in order to make a giant leap forward, right? And part of the theme with this month, especially the first half of the month, is what do I need to let go of, right? What is holding me back, right? Do I have some utopian vision of, how life should be, but I haven't taken any action to make it happen, right? So that Five of Cups, yes, can be difficult. We might be grieving something. We might be processing something negative or challenging here, right? We might have suffered a loss of some kind, but there's recovery available there. So there is change and transformation going on there. We may just need to do something a little bit different to, get things back on track. Okay. And this can very much deal with things like, the price of groceries, the price of gas, things that may not be within our control. And so this can be where we really get clarity on what we might need to change a little bit in our day-to-day habits and patterns. Remember, Uranus on the 12th is squaring the nodes, right? Squaring the North Node in Pisces, South Node in Virgo. And Virgo is our day-to-day. It's our daily work, our habits, patterns, routines. It can be with our money, how we spend it, and so sometimes we need to scale things back a little bit, because there's certain things that are going on that require us to take some sort of different action. Is it fun? No. But is there a chance to do something a little bit better and get things back in balance, right? Get our finances in check? Yes, right? Do we want to do it? Probably not. Do we have to do it? Most likely, right? So there is this turning point that's here for you with that Five of Cups. And so we don't want to get lost in this energy. We want to process our emotions and move forward. Your relationship message, the Nine of Wands. Okay, so the Nine of Wands in your relationships, yeah, I mean, with that Five of Cups, you could have something going on in a personal relationship. Okay, and this might put things in question for you. Again, we've got this Ten of Wands there. So at least you are at this end of this cycle, but there's still things that we need to process, things that we need to go through. Okay, and that Nine of Wands in relationships can represent that maybe you need to protect yourself a little bit. Maybe you feel that there's been some challenges, and now with that Nine of Wands, it's like, do I just need to put up boundaries, or do I need to just, kind of recognize that maybe I just need some final closure? I may need to bring something to an end. So some of you maybe have had some shakeups and breakups in your life, whether it's with your job or whether it's with your spouse, something in your family, your relationship with spirit, your relationship with yourself as well, right? And remember, we've got the Nine of Pentacles over here as your message from spirit. So you do have this opportunity here to focus on recovery, focus on yourself, focus on, putting up some boundaries, perhaps bringing something to a close, bringing something to an end so that you can move forward. All right, let me grab you a couple more cards because I don't like to leave that there on that Nine of Wands. Remember, nines are endings, so it's where we are doing the work. Tens, we are, kind of just, really recognizing where we are and that we're at the end of our journey so that we can, take that next opportunity to do something a little bit differently. We've got the World card with that Nine of Pentacles. Got the Queen of Swords with your Five of Cups. Excellent. And we've got the Nine of Swords coming in here as well with your relationships. Okay, at the back of the deck, we've got the Knight of Pentacles. Knight of Pentacles can be an offer, an opportunity. It can be an investment. It can also be because you've taken your time and paid attention to detail. You're right here on the cusp of success. So the Knight of Pentacles can bring you some wonderful things and open some doors for you. But we do have the World card, right? So we do have some closure. We do have some endings going on here for you. End of a big cycle. The World card is like this big journey. And so, but it is a successful journey. And remember, sometimes even the things that we want to hold on to, when they come to a close, it's because it's necessary. Okay. But the World can bring about, right underneath that Nine of Pentacles, can bring about a success, abundance, prosperity, celebration, joy, all of these things. Maybe some of you, you're retiring, right? You're looking to retirement. And even though it's a really positive thing, there's this, I have to let some things go at the same time. So if you're in a job that you like, or maybe there's some people that you like to work with, and it's your time to shine, it's your time to retire, or move to a different job because I've done everything I can do here. There can sometimes also be those little pangs of, oh, I'm going to miss you, right? I'm going to miss coming here every day, that kind of thing. I feel like if you like your job, well, no, even if you like your job, right, you can still feel the need to move it because maybe you need to make more money, right? Or perhaps you have a spouse that has a better paying job somewhere else. Now you need to move and the commute's too long, right? So got all these little things that can come up. But the World card is an opportunity to step through a portal, wrap things up, and then get ready to step through the portal into something new, something exciting, that new beginning, or those improvements in your life, a better energy for you, perhaps, can come up there as well. The Queen of Swords, you could have a very helpful person around you that's in your prosperity. So maybe someone gives you advice. But the Queen of Swords can also be this energy of, I'm thinking clearly, I'm being logical, I'm using my wisdom, I'm making the right decisions for myself, but I'm also putting up boundaries and cutting off anything that is prohibiting me from finding financial growth, stability and security in my world, right? That Queen of Swords is really good for conversation, really good energy for making those difficult decisions that we don't that we need to work through. Queen of Swords also is detached from emotion, okay? And so this Five of Cups here, so this is really important if we're processing something, some disappointments, some grief, sadness, loss with our prosperity here, specifically with your prosperity. Then the Queen of Swords is coming out like a little bit of a saving grace, because not only do we process our emotions, we then detach from it so that we can move forward. And we need to have that sometimes. It's going to be a really important conversation you also have with somebody. And you may need to, have an opportunity to receive some sort of gifts or blessing, advice, or support from this person. Okay. But I also have Nine of Swords with that Nine of Wands. Okay. So your relationship, something's stressing you out. Something is causing you some grief and anxiety here. It may be that you are struggling with an ending, or maybe you're questioning the future of a relationship. Okay, it can be friends, it can be love and romance, right? Again, it can be your business relationships as well. Okay, or maybe this energy is coming in because you've had some other things going on, whether personally or maybe in your working life or with your family, and perhaps here you're feeling like kind of disconnected um, from your social life, right? From your friends. And if we're in a path where we're maybe working really hard, as the Knight of Pentacles here, we are diligently pursuing a goal, okay, then this can be where we feel detached from other people. And so there is this need to reconnect, okay? And so maybe take that a little bit to heart, right? That you might need to make the first move, that action card, right? To get your social life going again, okay? But the Nine of Swords, this can be tossing and turning. It can be, where we are feeling anxiety, right? But what are we, but what are we doing? Here we're taming our anxiety with the Nine of Pentacles. Okay. So focus on you. Look at the bright side of things. Okay. Bring things into the light of day. Because often that Nine of Swords, our anxieties and our fears come up in the middle of the night. This is a self-imposed restriction with that Nine of Swords. We're up in our head, too much in our head, not enough in our heart. Okay. So drop yourself down into your heart space and connect. Okay. And sometimes we overthink and overanalyze with the Nine of Swords, and that's where we think the worst of things. We think the worst of the worst of the worst, right? But when we bring something into the light of day, we talk about something, we get something out in the open, we resolve our issues, okay, or we relieve ourselves from our burden. So there could be something important that you need to talk about or that you need to get out in the open because you're worried about it. Okay, so so it's not always easy to do, but you do have the Queen of Swords showing up here. So even though she's attached to your prosperity, she's still coming out for you. And so this can be where, we're like, okay, I'm gonna have clarity and focus, right? And I'm not gonna let anything keep me in this energy, right? I'm going to look to the future, I'm going to make the right decisions, I'm going to, really trust my wisdom and my intuition, and I'm going to make the right moves, the right decisions for myself, whatever that looks like, right? And again, you might have an important person that can give you some insight or maybe just to bounce some information and ideas off of, okay? So I do feel like maybe you are going through some transitional energy at the moment. Okay, but remember, focus on this from spirit. There's an ending that you need to take care of. Maybe you need to tie up loose ends. There's some closure, but you are completing a cycle, completing a journey. And sometimes that can make us feel like we're a little bit on uncommon ground, right? Unexplored territory, and it might just make you a little bit nervous. Okay, so just focus. Remember how strong and powerful you are. That Nine of Pentacles. Remember how successful you've been thus far in your life, right? And we all have some little ups and downs. And I will say that the World card right here is your biggest energy. Okay. And the World card, it's in the upright. So it's all good. You got blessings, you got opportunities, and it's opening a door, opening a portal to the next state, the next step, the next stage in your journey. So even if you feel as though you might be like in a little bit of crisis mode, or there's like these mini crises going on around you, the Nine of Pentacles in the World card says you're going to be okay. So let's get you a couple of more cards. These are your blessings. We love having blessings. And there's your first blessing. The blessed treasure within. See, it's all about you, Taurus. The qualities you admire in others, you also possess. There is a treasure within you. This card is here to help you reconnect with the well of wisdom, creativity, and beauty inside you. It is time to shine your light. And there is your next blessing. The blessing of oneness. Bring your awareness within and connect with the eternal you. Love, abundance, and blessings flow to you. Feel a deep sense of peace. Feel the oneness, the clarity, and the perfection, and the love that you truly are. Those are your messages, Taurus. I'll leave those there for you. I do thank you very much for watching. I do hope you have a wonderful and fantastic June. Remember, focus on the things that you can control, connect with people in a different way, and get ready for some action. Again, that action that you have might be a little overwhelming for you. That could be part of it as well. But I do thank you for watching, and I will see you guys next time. Bye-bye.